Hi, this is Ronita with Sassy Chick Glitz. I am an independent paparazzi consultant, and I wanted to jump on and share with you how I keep track of my expenses for my business. I use a free app, and it's called Mint. Free. Did I say free? Did you hear me? Free, absolutely free. There's no hidden costs when you get in there. A lot of those apps say once you get in there to upgrade or do anything different or try this level, it's all completely free. The way it's free is it does advertise for credit cards, loans, and that type of thing, but it's not obnoxious advertisement. You have to actually click on it. It's there. It shows you it's not flashy or flashing. You have to click on it to go in it. But to me, the advantages of this app, it just, nullifies all those advertisements. You don't have to click on it, don't have to worry about it. But this is free to track all of your expenses. The app is called Mint. It is from the makers of Intuit, which also makes QuickBooks and TurboTax. So it's under that same umbrella. So before I became a consultant, before I owned my own business, application called Quicken. I know you guys probably heard of Quicken, but I used Quicken, but it was the desktop version. And I got to where I was tired of trying to keep up with sitting down on a regular basis at the desktop to update my transactions. So I started researching and looking for something to replace that, something on a phone, because they had apps for everything else. I'm like, there's got to be something as far as budgeting. That's what I was looking for in a budgeting app. So I did my research and I came up with two that of the top apps were You Need a Budget and this Mint application. So actually Mint was free. You Need a Budget was, you did have to pay for it. But like I said, my goal was a budgeting app, and Mint was more, I didn't understand it yet, and it was more than just a budgeting app. So I tried You Need a Budget, but it didn't use zero-based budgeting. And when I mean zero-based budgeting, I like to start at zero at the beginning of the month for my budget. So what You Need a Budget would do is if I budgeted $100 for gas every month, just example, if I used $125 that month, the next month, it would only budget me $75 because I had already used $25 additional dollars for the previous month. I didn't like that. I wanted to start at zero-based budgeting. So, and actually I was paying for that. So I paid for it a few times. I sent emails. I contacted the company saying, hey, how can I make it zero-based budget? They said it's not. That's the way it was set up. So I was like, well, let me look at this Mint app and make it work for me. So I jumped in there and I did a lot of research. Well, I play with it because that's how all the apps, any program you use, you play with it, you'll figure it out. So next, when I did start my business, of course, I wanted an app to work with for my business. And so I signed up for with QuickBooks. So I use the QuickBooks, not that I was at the time starting out making enough money really to use the QuickBooks, but me, I just wanted to, I wanted something quick and easy to organize everything. So I got on there and QuickBooks, I could not figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure it out. So I went back to Mint and I said, I'm going to get in here and look at this. I've got to figure out how to work this Mint and use it for my business. And I did. And it's awesome. It's great. It's really easy. I know I said that, that I had to really research and look at things. Well, I'm going to make it easy for you so you don't have to do as much digging around with it. I'm going to make it eliminate all that hard stuff. And it really wasn't hard. It was just taking the time to sit down and look through it. And that's exactly what I did. I finally sat down and took a look at it. So we're going to go ahead, stop talking. You've heard enough of me. Let's jump on into the app. Share the screen. I'm clicking over. I'm going into the Mint. Okay. All right, so this is what you see. And I'm on the desktop. I'm on the desktop version, but I do everything in the app There's only a few things that I can't do in the app that I like to do on the desktop. I recommend that you start on the desktop. You want to go and grab all of your logins for all the accounts that you want to connect to the account, to this Mint, the Mint program, all of your logins, all of your passwords and everything. Passwords, logins, account numbers, all that, to go ahead and plug it in if you want to use it for your business or even personal. If you just want to use it for your business, mainly you're going to use your banking account, because when you make your transactions, they'll upload in here, and then you can categorize your transactions when they upload into the Mint program. So you still need your login for that. So first I'm going to go up top. Here is a button here. It says take a tour. It sends you alerts. You can turn those alerts off, turn them on, whichever you like, to let you know what's going on. I turn mine off. I don't really need to know, because basically I look at this every single day. I love it. It lets me know where I am with all my accounts, where my money is that type of thing. So let me see. You can look at your upcoming bills. It can send you alerts for those as well. It also has a calendar in there to help you look at this, Tuesday, Wednesday, when the bills are due, that type of thing. It looks at that. Okay. So next, it says it gives you advice and suggestions on, and that's where the advertisement comes in. It's suggestions based on your activity, what car would be good for you. But I disagree with it's advice. It's basically just trying to sell you something, so you can ignore that pretty much. Okay, so I do have this your credit score. It does look at and give me my credit score once a month. I like looking at that. I love that. If somebody, an inquiry pops up, you can look at that, looks at something, percentage where you are, because your credit is based on a percentage of your debt to credit ratio, and how much, they want you to keep it under 20 or 30%. And as you guys know, that they're getting ready to change that to where to get more people in debt, is the way I see it. But okay, it looks at your credit report. I love that also, once a month. I'm not sure which credit company that it's, credit report company that it's going through, but it's still, it's not something that you can take and go and use it for a loan or anything, but it's still just a heads up of what's going on with you. So this is great. I can go, here's the budget. That was one of my main reasons for choosing an app like this, was the budgeting. I love that, the budget. Okay, you can create a budget, you can create multiple budgets. I just have the one. Goals, you can set goals, like we talk about if you wanted to go to a convention, if you had set a goal of how much money to save from your paycheck whatever it is. But I haven't really looked at the goals very much. I can't really tell you much about it. I haven't explored it, played with that any. So you can do that. Then it talks about investments. The only thing I have investments really that I have are my 401 accounts. I do have those connected here on my accounts. That's, my whole financial, just about everything. I'm not going to say everything's in there. So like my big emergency fund, I do not have it connected. I don't want to look at it because it's for emergencies. I don't want to touch it. So, but this looks at your investments. It's up to you, no big deal. That's my 401k, really can't do anything with it but look at it. So, okay, ways to save. Again, this is opportunities for advertisement, not interested in that, but you can look at it, play with those. It might be something that suits you, doesn't suit me. Trends, it looks at cash versus credit card debt, that type of thing, where your trends, how much you're spending, overall look at what your spending is, basically what those trends are. Okay, my accounts, all the accounts that I have connected. Gives me a list of them. It's credit cards, debts, just all those. I have my mortgage connected to this. I can look at it, see when the payment's due, and lets me know when it's paid, and so on and so forth. Any activity on all my accounts, it lists all of those, because you're going to have a separate, over to the left, it's going to show a separate, each line of every different account that you have. I love that as well. Okay, so that is the tour basically. So now I'm going to talk to you about updating your transactions or adding them. So you see up here, I meant to have a receipt for you guys so I can show you, but I'm going to maybe make up something for you. So here at the top, you can see where it says add accounts, a plus on the very top black strip at the top. The very first one, it says add accounts. So you can use this to add your checking, banking, your credit cards, or anything like that. You have an offline, you can search your bank in the search bar and bring not just your bank, any of your, like my LG&E, what I'm using, my gas and electric company, or my Spectrum, which is my internet. You can search those accounts and go ahead and link those. You still have to enter your account information to connect it. You can link it there. Now, if you don't have an account that you want to connect with this, that doesn't have that's not in the system, you can still create one. Like it says, add an offline bill, or rent, babysitter, gardener, something like that. Just so I'll put this in here just so that I can put in a reminder. It lets me know if it's you can choose monthly, quarterly, something like that. Like my Amazon payment, I'll add that Amazon in there. It's not you're not going to find it to connect it, but I'm going to add an offline bill or put my Amazon in there so that I know that when it's coming due, it's on my calendar, and it'll give me a reminder that it's coming. So in this is how you would add any of your accounts, right? You're going to add all of your accounts when you're setting up your system. That's where you're going to go to do that, to add your accounts. And you can, clicking on settings, you can kind of go through these. Now, you can connect all of your accounts, but you can still hide those, hide them from your daily activities if you don't want to see them. Like I had a credit card that I wasn't using anymore, so I kind of hid that one so that I wouldn't see it anymore, and eventually closed it. So that's what some of the settings that you can do. You can look at how you can change your notifications. We'll look at notifications. You can have them send you an email. I have it set up to send me a weekly or no email. It tells me weekly how my overview for the week. Send advice emails. That's advice. That's selling. I don't want to see any of those. Bill reminder alerts. That was too many alerts. I didn't want to see that, but you can turn that on or off. Your credit score update, yes, I want to see that. Any changes in your spending alert? No, I don't want to see any of that. I know, like I said, I'm checking it every day. I don't need to see it. You can set up across the top, you see profile, the tour, and then log out. So now I'm going to go back to what's showing in here. So you can see the next ribbon across, you see overview, transactions, credit score, bills, budgets, goals, trends, and investments. And on the overview, it just kind of goes over, it shows you everything that we just talked about as far as what's available. So I really won't go into what those are, but the tour took you through all of these things. So I'm going to look at transactions, because that's what we're going to learn to do, is to update your transactions. So you can see here's the transactions on the main screen. You can go, where are they? I didn't see them, or at least I missed them. Anyway, we can go up here and click on transactions. This is going to show you all transactions, all combined with all the different accounts. If you want to go to a specific account, you can click on it over here and go into it and look at it individually. You can see the advertisements for the credit card. Like I said, every time I change the screen, it pops in there. So those are the advertisements you're going to see. And I'm just Xing out. Normally I don't pay any attention to them because, like I said, they don't bother me. So I'm going to look at a transaction. Like these have already downloaded. Let me see if I can find one that the majority, after you initially label like Costco, is going to automatically go categorize itself as gas, because that's what I originally, when it first popped in, I originally labeled it as at that. So everything at Costco is going to automatically go to gas. So it, of course, it learns your transactions is when you go in here. But for me, if you can see where it says paparazzi, for some reason, this automatically goes to restaurants. I don't care what I label it. It just likes to be called restaurants. So I'm going to click on the paparazzi. As you can see, it gave you a little tab there that says edit details. So I can still edit it right here, or I can open it up all the way with edit details. I want to open it up so you can see. So you can see where it says tags. You can have that tax related, vacation reimbursement. I don't worry about any of those, right? So I'm going to go here and click on where it says restaurant. And this is where it's very important as far as categories. You can see these are the categories, and that's where I made this fit for my business. I went in and changed categories. I added the categories so that I could use this for my business. So now I have a tab. Now some of these categories are default. The majority of them are default, but I didn't change some of them. I didn't change majority of them. I just changed a few to fit me, but you can change them all to suit what your needs are. So I have business service, and so you can see the subtitles under the subcategories under business services. Now I added, let me see, inventory. That's where I'm going to label my paparazzi as inventory, because that's the jewelry that I bought from Paparazzi. And I added that by clicking at the very bottom. It says add or edit category. So you can add one, you can edit it. That's where you go to edit. That's most important, guys, to add your categories to suit what you need. So I think business expense and business meal, business travel, those might have already been in there, and legal and some of the things, I'm not sure, but I added what I needed. And so for paparazzi, I'm going to go ahead and label it as inventory. I purchased my inventory, right? So another feature here is, like, all of that total, that $82 total is not just for, it is paparazzi, but we know that if for any reason that we spend under $100, that it's going to automatically charge us $5.95 for shipping, right? So I can split that. Let me go back. Did you guys see where there's right here the two double arrows? I don't know, I can't, but I'm going to click on it. It's got arrows going two different ways, okay? Can you see that? So I'm going to click on that, and I can split it. I can split it as many times as I want to split it. It's split twice, but I can hit, it says split again. I can split that again and add the sales tax, actually, but I don't know what the sales tax, I'm not going to add that. But for example, so right here, I'm going to type in, well, first I'm going to give you the category and change it business services, and I'm going to make it shipping, because I paid, excuse me, I paid the $5. Let me see if they're going to let me. I'm going to type in $5.95 for shipping. okay? And it doesn't automatically update it. So I changed that to $5.95, and actually normally I would take and hit split again and then add what the taxes were, but I would have open the Paparazzi site in this as well so that I know what that is. Okay, so it says I'm done, but you're gonna see what happens. There's a difference because I needed to subtract that 82, the $5.95. It doesn't automatically update it. Normally, now on the app, I think it updates for you, so you wouldn't have to do any calculations. But it actually depends on what you change it automatically. But for this example, it didn't. So let's say, and I don't really do math in my head, so I am using a calculator. So, but if you didn't want to change it, leave it there. You don't have to worry about it, because it sounds like what I'm doing right now is a lot. So the difference is 76, 61. So that should make it even. So I'm done. Actually, I'm not. I wanted to show you guys something else that I did while I'm in there. You know what? I left it on restaurant. I didn't change it. So business services and my inventory. Number, I like to throw the number in here, you know, to keep track they call the number associated with each order. The order number. So I'll go ahead and type in that order number so that I can match that up and track that. So the order number is 134. Right, so bam. You can't take a picture of receipts or anything, but you can type in a receipt number, whatever, to coordinate with that, whatever that expense is. All right, and then I hit save, and I'm ready to go to the next one. I can do the same thing, I'll update it. Okay, so inventory, business services, inventory. Okay, so I must have hit to change, manage those. I hit the wrong one. It said manage. And that's where you're going to go in to change your settings or change the categories, to update them, add categories that you need. Okay, I'm done. So sometimes one of the only issue, that negative that I have for this is that sometimes at the beginning of the month, the transactions duplicate. So that's why during the month, you want to go ahead and update and separate and put your notes in. So that way, if that does duplicate, you know that that's a duplication, and you have to come here to the desktop to hit that. This is duplicate and delete it out of the system. Okay. So now that, in a sense, you have everything updated and ready to go. See that map code, see that says grocery, and actually map code is gas. So I'll update that. And if that hit, I'm sorry, I'm not sure why it hit internet. Gas and fuel, still hit internet. What the heck? Just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so now if I go to MAPCO again, it's gonna automatically go categorize it as auto and transportation. So it's the end of the year and everything, you have all your stuff, you've been tracking, everything's in there and ready to go. Now for the taxes, when it's time to go for your taxes, you see at the very bottom right here, it says export all 3,600. Now I do have a lot of transactions. I've probably been on this program about 5 years, so it's a lot, but it is it's in order, so you don't have to worry about if it's the year before. You can still grab you can filter it for 2,000. After you get into the, after you go into the spreadsheet, you can categorize it as you see fit. But I hit export, and you can see there is there it is. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing it. Just to make sure, I'm going to hit share. Yeah, you guys are seeing it, so but I just want to make sure. So here it is. Here is your spreadsheet ready. It's not ready for the tax lady. You're going to have to filter it a little bit. So there's the date. You can filter on 2020. Okay, description. These are the places where you purchased them all. This is another description column that, you know, I would probably just delete it out. This is the amount that you spend, the transaction type, whether it was a debit or credit. Usually don't need that one. Here's your categories. This is what is most important for you. I filter it, just filter. So if I'm gonna filter for, here's advertisement, travel, food, gas, all those things, you can filter for that. And what I normally do for my tax person, if it's like, it's for my tithes and offering, any giving that I do, I would filter on that. And the only thing you would show is the giving. I would print that sheet out and go to the next category, filter on that, print that out, and I would give it to her. So here is my giving. Here is my tithes and offering. Here is the money that I spent on gas for my company. Here's the money like that. That's what I use this spreadsheet for. Or, you know, you filter it, play with the spreadsheet, filter it any way that works for you. So I think I covered everything pretty much on the desktop. Like I said, now, as far as exporting to a spreadsheet, now, you know, you're not going to be able to do that through the app. If you can, I've not seen it, not sure how you do that. So let's go into the app and look at a few things. I pre-recorded it, so I might not be on the same as far as them switching screens on me. So now, this that I'm showing you, this is a view from the, what kind of phone is this? This is an iPhone. Now, me personally, I use Android, but the Android has safety features on it that wouldn't allow me to record or take any pictures inside this app. Mint is, you know, you have to have, it's password protected. If you use, go into a different desktop, laptop, phone, or anything like that, it's going to ask for verification for you even to get in there. You can set a passcode on the app so that to get into it, or you can, you know, leave it where you can just click on it as you see fit. But it does have security features on here. So this, like I said, this overview is from an iPhone, but this, but Android does look different. So you have the accounts, the transactions, all transactions from all accounts on that screen there. There's an advertisement. This shows my upcoming deals. You can see where I've been adding and playing with it. It shows budget, and it shows, yeah, like I said, it went a little bit fast. So this, I'm going to show you, you can do, I'm going to go back a little bit. Okay, so the transactions, there's a plus sign up here that you can see. You can add transactions, or you can add accounts through that plus sign there. That's how you can add transactions. Or you can come down here and go into the transactions and also add a transaction. You can add Suppose you pay cash for something, you still want to record it. You can pay cash and just type it in manually and push that you paid cash. Mark it as cash. But see here, I'm going in here and I'm going to add a transaction. This is all in the app. You can see the cancel button is $25. I'm choosing a merchant who I paid, or if it's somebody new, type that in there. Tires, it's expense. You see it says cash. You can change the date or leave the date. I'm choosing a category. I chose just practicing tires. I put it under service and parts. You can put a note in here to say where it is, where it's from, what it was for, anything like that. And you hit done and it saves it in there. Okay, so I added that it's not true. So I'm going to go back in and delete this transaction because I don't need it. It was just for training purposes. Okay, there it disappeared. So we're back in transactions. Okay. See, there's your advertisement once again. Now I hit the plus sign at top and you can see we can add a transaction or add an account. Let me see if I can go back. Okay, so here it says add a transaction, create a budget, or add an account. So you can add an account on the app using the phone. So pretty much once you get it set up, you can pretty much do just about everything in the app on your phone. So you can continue to use your phone for your business, for everything else, once you get everything set up. It might be a few things that you can't navigate to in your app. You know, you might have to jump on the desktop periodically for different things. And like I said, when you are downloading your expenses into a spreadsheet, you will have to do it on the desktop. So here I'm going in and going to show you how to add a transaction. No, I'm sorry, add an account. And see, again, it has the pre-made ones there, not pre-made, the ones that they already recognize that you can go in, or at the very bottom, you can add it manually. And that's what I'm doing now. So this is where I went in and added my utility. It was my trash company, which actually they are listed already. That's not my trash company either. This is just me training and showing you something. So I'm adding waste management as my utility. The due date, can change that, set it whatever you want. You can change it monthly, annually, quarterly, and the amount is $75. I can turn on auto pay, which doesn't actually, I don't use that. I pay through my bank. Let's see. See if it pops up. There it is. See where I practiced a couple times getting ready for this video. So there it is for waste management. And I, can go back in later and you can also delete it, right? So there's budget, business service. This looks at for the monthly, my monthly spending. I love it. So each category is different color. At the bottom, you can see transactions, and you can click on that and it shows you. Again, you can see where it labels Paparazzi as a restaurant. So that's going to skew my spending. Once I correct it, it'll correct itself. So go back in here and go up to business expenses, and there's label it inventory, and then go in and put notes in and say this is the order number for that particular. And you can also split. It's like I'm changing it to the shipping for 5. See, it automatically calculates for you in the app. I love it. And there's where I can change it and add sales tax. Split it a third way. You can split it as many. I'm not sure how many times you can split it, but yes, you can do it that way. Okay, I'm going down here. I'm looking for taxes, so I can enter the sales tax. Don't know what that is, so I didn't put that in there. I just deleted that line. Okay. Now back to my spending. I love it. It's my favorite right there. Okay, you can see the budget. I didn't click in that budget. The accounts at the top, you can click on those. And that's it. All right. I hope you guys can get some value out of that. I love the app and I use it for everything. So if you have any questions, please just reach out to me. And just like the last video, I've only done one other one about uploading my inventory. I had several ladies reach out to me, and I have no problems answering questions or helping you to help direct you in the right direction. So thanks for letting me share with you, ladies, and I will see you next time. Thanks. And I'm not sure what this is.